This story's hilarious. When this girl was little, for some reason, she thought sneezing was hilarious. The scene in Beauty and the Beast where Belle's dad sneezes in his workshop and dust flies everywhere, she loved it. She would rewind it and watch it over and over again. Well, one day, when she was in kindergarten, she somehow found out that a student who was in first grade was very allergic to pollen. So she had an idea. Every day at recess, she would go outside, pick a handful of dandelions, and chase her around the playground. Come here, come here. Oh, no. And when she would get close enough, she would shove the dandelions in this girl's face. Well, it got to a point where one day at recess, she was chasing her around with dandelions as usual. But this time, the reaction was more than a sneeze. She was sent to the hospital. And from that day on, whenever she wanted to watch someone sneeze, she would just go on YouTube. A subscriber's 5th grade story. So this one comes from a subscriber who said, back in 5th grade, his homeroom teacher was just completely mean, always mad about something. Well, one day in class, his friend made a funny face at him, and he giggled. That's it. Just a giggle, no big deal, right? Well, when he got home that day, his parents were furious. They said that the teacher had emailed them, saying that he was laying on the ground laughing at the teacher, making fun of her, and mocking her, which never happened. He tried to explain, that's not what happened, I was just giggling at my friend. And his parents didn't believe him. And this didn't just happen once. It happened again and again and again. Each time the teacher would exaggerate a straight up lie in these emails home. Eventually his parents started to notice that something was off, and they brought it up to the principal. But the teacher didn't stop. One day she gave him 2 detentions back to back. And during one of those detentions, she walked into the room and said to his face, you know something, you should really stop doing sports because you're obviously never gonna make it anywhere. You should just focus on your schoolwork and maybe you won't end up in detention. Okay? Have a good one. Bro. Once his parents found out that she said that, they told the principal. Once the principal found out that she said that, she was done. She got fired. Good riddance. AI killed his essay writing business, so he started a genius new business. After he realized AI has been causing his essay writing business huge problems for obvious reasons, he decided to start something brand new. It's called Grubby AI. Grubby AI is a tool used to humanize text and bypass AI detectors. You just put your AI content right here, press humanize, and there you go. Grubby AI is guaranteed to bypass AI detection, and to be honest, this might be the only thing of its kind out there right now. It's absolutely genius. This is the Plod Note. It's a ChatGPT voice recorder, and with this, you'll never have to take notes ever again. It records meetings, entire phone calls, it attaches to your phone, and then in the app, it'll list the most important details and summarize the conversation or the meeting or the lecture. It's super sleek as well and small, and the battery lasts forever. The Plod Note is a game changer. I'm gonna use it for everything. The worst Halloween costume ever, so this kid really wanted to be Pennywise for Halloween. He was very, very excited, so his mom ordered him a Pennywise costume. The costume came in and he tried it on. And this is what the costume looked like. This teacher straight up embarrassed herself. Back in 3rd grade, this teacher was doing a lesson on animals. So, can anybody name me a mammal? This one kid, we'll call him Mason, raised his hand excitedly. Oh, a platypus! The teacher kind of frowned. Oh, no, sweetie, mammals don't lay eggs, and platypuses lay eggs. It's a bird. You are wrong. Mason looked confused, but the platypus is a mammal. Don't you argue with me, it's unbecoming. I'm not arguing, now you're being disrespectful. Mason just sat there quietly. But that night, he did some work of his own. The next day, Mason came into school with printouts, scientific articles, diagrams, highlighted textbook pages. This kid had evidence. He was ready to prove this teacher wrong. So in class, he walked right up to her desk, and in front of the entire class, he said, "Excuse me? Just so you know, the platypus is a mammal. Look, it lays eggs, but it still makes milk, and that's what makes it a mammal. I've been teaching for 15 years. I think, yeah, and you've been wrong for every single one of them." Boom. Class exploded. At this point, the teacher was fuming. "Go to the office now." But when he explained what happened to the principal, even the principal was like, "Yeah, man, you're right. Platypus is a mammal." And he didn't get in trouble at all. After that day, Mason never got another question wrong in that class because she never called on him again. There was a rumor that a kid at this school wasn't allowed to take tests. What? Quizzes, no exams, no finals, nothing. At first, everyone thought he was faking it, like, okay bro, test anxiety isn't a personality, get over it. But then the truth came out. This kid barely talked to anybody. No backpack, no pencil case, just showed up, sat down, and left. And every time there was a test, he was suddenly gone, like clockwork. People started making jokes like, he's got a medical exemption from Scantrons, or he's so smart they don't need to test him. But then one day a teacher slipped up. She was handing back test scores and looked straight at him and said, "Oh right, you don't take these." And he just nodded like it was completely normal. Turns out his dad was one of the district lawyers. And a few years back, the school messed up his IEP so badly that his family sued. IEP stands for Individualized Education Program. Well, like I said, his family sued, and they won. And part of the settlement, he didn't have to take any standardized tests until graduation. So yeah, the rumor was real. He had a real legal pass to never take a test ever again.
Okay, so I have the Bulldog ramen, but this time it's 2 times spicy. So I thought this one was spicy, but this one looks crazy.
Now we're gonna boil some water. Now that it's boiling, we put this into the boiling for 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes, now we drain the water. Now it says to add the 2 times spicy hot sauce. Then you add, last step is the pepper flakes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I think if you like spicy stuff, this is gonna be awesome for you. I'm not sure how I'm gonna handle it, so I'm gonna take one bite. Let's see. Delicious, but very, very spicy.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. This one is absolutely insane. So this kid in middle school ran a revenge business. He wouldn't hurt anybody at all. That wasn't part of his business. But anything aside from that had a price. He carried a notebook around with suggestions of things he could do for revenge. If somebody wanted to get revenge on a classmate or something, they would come, look at his notebook, see what they can afford, and then hire him to perform that revenge plot. If somebody wanted to get the ultimate revenge, they would pay him for the ultimate package. And this is what it is. This kid would get a garbage can, fill it with milk, eggs, meat, and roadkill that he would find on the side of the road. He would then put the lid on it and keep it out in his backyard in the heat until it started to rot. Then he would bring this garbage can to the person that he was hired to get revenge on. He would take the lid off, lean the garbage can against the door, knock on the door, and run away. Now, when someone in the house opened the door to answer it, that garbage can would fall in and spill everything everywhere, causing a rotten, disgusting, smelly mess. He told me he was never caught, he never got in trouble, and he made over $700. Businesses kids ran in their school. When this kid was in 5th grade, his parents always bought packets of those Mini Bites muffins, which personally I love. But for some reason, these muffins made this kid's throat hurt. But no matter how many times he told his parents, they still continued to buy those muffins. Every day, this kid's parents would put a pack of those muffins in his lunchbox, and every day during lunch, he would throw those muffins away because he did not like them, like I said. Well, one day a kid saw him throwing those away. "Hey bro, why are you throwing those away?" He said, "I don't like them at all. They make my throat hurt, but my parents keep buying them, so I just throw them away." Well, that's when this kid said, "Dude, those are awesome. Why would you throw them away? I bet you many kids would buy those." And he got an idea. He soon started selling them. He began asking his parents to give him 2 for lunch every day instead of 1, and he gathered a bunch up. His parents had to start buying more boxes of these muffins because they thought their kid loved them. But little did they know, he was gathering a stockpile of these muffins up in his locker so he could sell them to students, and that's exactly what he did. He sold them to students, sometimes for $2 a bag, sometimes for $5 a bag. Sometimes, depending on how desperate somebody was, he would sell it for $15 a bag, and he ran this business for a few years. He kept a notebook of how much he made, and from 5th grade until the end of middle school, he made around $3,500. Gotta respect the hustle. This mom said her son is 12 years old and he loves to play Fortnite. Well, at the end of that particular school year, she saw his final grades, and they were terrible. She was really disappointed in him. Was trying to think of a way to punish him, to make him learn a lesson, and she thought of his Fortnite account. So she went on there and permanently deleted it. This kid was freaking out, crying, screaming. He said that he had spent 2.5 years working on that Fortnite account, and that he had some really rare skins. Now this kid refuses to eat dinner with his family and is not talking to his mom at all. She told him that he is responsible for this because he is the one that got bad grades. He thinks that she went way overboard. What do you think? Crazy things that happened at a friend's house. When this kid was in middle school, one night he was having dinner at his friend's house with his friend's family. The dinner went well. The food was really good. But once everyone was done eating, the mom did something kind of repulsive. She took everyone's plates and put them on the floor. She then called the family dog into the kitchen and had the dog lick all of those plates clean. The mom then put those plates that the dog just licked clean back into the cupboard. And everyone in that family acted like it was completely normal. He said he was disgusted and he threw up that night because he was probably eating his food off of a dog-licked plate. He never went to that house ever again.
So teachers are starting to realize that kids are using ChatGPT. There's a website called Quillbot, which you'll go here and get the paper. Then you take it from there, put it on Quillbot. Then Quillbot makes it seem like you wrote it, so the school cannot track it.
Not anymore. Quillbot is detectable, as you can see right here. I mean, this is the proof. Quillbot does not work anymore. But there is a solution. Use this tool instead to beat Turnitin and GPT-0. And it's completely free. It's called Grubby AI, and it's an incredibly effective AI text humanizer that is 100% undetectable by AI detectors. School's right around the corner, and I think this thing's gonna save your life. Wait, is he breathing? No, he's fine. He's built for this. This kid walks into class one day, and he realizes there's a quiz. Well, he didn't study at all. So instead of taking a 0, he decides to take a gamble. You see, there was this massive beanbag chair in the back of the classroom. Like one of those giant overstuffed ones that sinks when you sit in it, almost like it's quicksand. Well, this kid, he was small. Like strategically small, you know? The kind of kid who can blend in anywhere if he wanted to. So he gets into class a little bit early. He looks at the beanbag and then he looks at the clock. Oh. Okay. And he just goes for it. He walks to the back of the room, lowers himself in the beanbag, and just disappears. And it completely swallows him. Gone. No limbs, no face, just beanbag. From the teacher's desk, it looks empty back there. Just looked like a normal beanbag. She hands out the quiz, starts the timer, and doesn't say a word. She assumes this kid's absent. Meanwhile, he's just inside this beanbag, curled up in silence, just riding it out. And just as the bell rings and everybody else is grabbing their stuff, getting ready to leave the classroom, he rises from this beanbag like a ghost and just walks out. And to this day, that teacher still thinks he was absent on that quiz day. That's absolutely crazy. This kid got blamed for something he didn't do. This one day at this one high school, during their free period, a kid was eating lunch outside by the football field, while a couple of students were kicking and throwing around a football. This kid, let's call him Steven, was sitting nearby. He wasn't playing, he was just eating his lunch. Suddenly, go long! Crash. One of the football players accidentally threw the football at the school window and it shattered. A teacher comes sprinting out of the building. Hey yo, who threw that? Everyone's frozen. Then one kid pointed to Steven. It was him. He kicked it. What? I wasn't even playing. But the teacher was already on the walkie-talkie. We got a broken window. Student responsible has been identified. Come with me. Steven is dragged to the office. They pull up security footage, but the camera angle cuts off right before the area where Steven was eating and they were playing, so it was useless. So, they just take the other kid's word for it. Steven gets 2 days of in-school suspension, and he has to pay $147 to fix the window. And the worst part? 2 weeks later, the kid that blamed him brags about it in the locker room. Yeah, I just didn't want to get in trouble and Steven was sitting there anyway. It was perfect. One kid heard it, went to the office to tell the principal. You'd think they would apologize, right? Nope. They just said, yeah, well, the case has already been handled. It's done, so nothing to do about it now. But thanks for letting me know, man. And that's the dumbest reason I've seen anybody get into trouble ever. Justice for Steven, man. That ain't right.
This device can save your computer and other things from power cuts. It's called the Golden Mate. You plug it into the wall and there's 4 outlets on the back right here. You can then plug in stuff like a computer or your Wi-Fi router, and if the power ever goes out, this thing takes over, allowing you to quickly save and safely shut down everything without hurting your device or losing stuff.
Alright, let me show you. So I have my computer plugged into the Golden Mate, and the Golden Mate is plugged into the wall. Alright, the Golden Mate is on, my computer is on, but watch what happens when I unplug the Golden Mate itself. Like I said, it's still running and it's going to take care of your equipment while you safely shut it down and save your files and whatnot. This thing is great. Plus, it looks awesome.
This thing would also be amazing for like medical equipment. Say you have some important medical equipment and the power goes out, that stuff would keep running while you figure out your next move. Click that cart right now to get your very own golden mate and keep your devices protected. I promise it's worth it.
This kid got life advice from a guy eating string cheese. This kid was 14. He was having a rough week. He was failing a class, his friends were acting super weird. He had just gotten into a fight with his mom who said, "You know what, why don't you take a walk and don't come back till you figure yourself out." Oof, tough break. So he left. He went to a park and sat on a bench. Just sitting there, staring at a duck that looked as lost as he felt.
Quack, quack, quack.
Then this guy walks by, mid-30s, fishing hat on and a pole in hand, and he was eating string cheese. But he was eating it like a menace, not peeling it, just munching right into it. The guy slows down and goes, "Hey, you good?" This kid doesn't answer, he just shrugs. The guy nods like he gets it, and he says, "Cool. Just remember this, most stuff doesn't make sense when you're in it, but it will later. So don't quit until it starts to make sense, alright?" This guy takes one last bite of his string cheese, throws the wrapper in the trash, and adds one last thing. Also, learn to cook one thing really well. That's important. That kid never saw that guy ever again. But he went home, and he made scrambled eggs. And honestly, they weren't that bad. Respect to that guy. One day in middle school, this kid was in math class, completely bored out of his mind. So instead of reviewing the packet he was given, he was doodling a picture in his notebook. He was sketching a cartoon of that teacher. Weird haircut, holding a ruler like it's a sword. I mean, it was kind of brutal, but it was funny. Well, suddenly the teacher walks by and she sees it. "Is this supposed to be me?" "No." She snatches the paper, holds it up like it's evidence. "Think this is funny? Office, now." He's like, "Yep, I'm done for. Detention for sure." He walks down to the principal's office, nervous. He gets in there and he hands the principal the picture that he drew of his teacher, expecting the worst. The principal stares at it, silent for a second, and then he bursts out laughing. Okay. Alright, first of all, man, this is spot on. Kudos to you. Second of all, I've been telling her to fix her hair for 3 years. Really? Oh yeah. Hey, pass me that red marker. Okay. He takes the red marker and draws flames behind her on the picture. Boom. Now it's art. I'm gonna keep this, alright? For me. Go to class, man. You're good. Huh. Alright. No detention, no punishment, just a really cool interaction with a super cool principal. That's awesome. Listen to this. This guy said that he recently graduated high school, and it was his 18th birthday. His parents took him on a cruise. "Alright, son, for your graduation and for your 18th birthday, we are going on a cruise. Happy birthday, son." Oh my god, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited. How long's the cruise? It's a week-long cruise. Now, none of them have ever been on a cruise before. But this kid had friends who went on, so he knew what to expect. So he told his parents, "Alright, Mom, Dad, I was doing some research. Cruises are different than regular vacations, okay? We have to follow the schedule, especially when we're on the excursions on the islands. Can we do that?" "Yeah, son, of course we can." "Yeah, son, of course. Honey, please." Well, it was 2 days into the cruise and the ship had stopped at an island. This kid's parents were shopping and bargaining with locals. They were having a good time, but it was time to head back to the ship. "Oh my gosh, you guys, we better head back to the ship now." "Hold on, son, I'm talking to this man. I'll give you $20 for the backpack." "Fine, I'm heading back." He gets on and the boat immediately takes off. Without his parents. They were mad. "I cannot believe you. Thanks for ruining our vacation." They had to then book and take a flight to the next island to catch up with the ship. They didn't talk to him for the rest of the trip. They blame him for not making the boat wait for them, which is absolutely bogus. 5 disgusting school lunches. Up first, we have a chili dog type lunch, and this one's not horrible, but it definitely does not look very appetizing. Up next was from a school that was serving chicken sandwiches one day, and this was the chicken sandwich that they were serving. Next, this is a meatloaf meal, I think. Is that meatloaf? I don't really know. It's definitely a super weird thing to serve at school lunch. Alright, this next school was serving pizza and mozzarella sticks one day. And here is a picture of that lunch. The pizza doesn't look cooked, the mozzarella sticks look nasty. And what are those? Garbanzo beans? Disgusting. And last but not least, another school lunch pizza, but this one was completely molded. Whoever served this to students should be fired. So I've had this dream multiple times in the past week or so, and I wrote it down. I'm running around this large, futuristic city. I knew that there was a creepy and strange man that was chasing me and my friends. He would get close, and then we would run to another place and hide. He never caught up to us, but he was always very close. I woke up as he was about to find us. Weird dream, but I wanted to know what it meant. So I did some digging and I found this app called Yoru X, and they actually interpret your dreams for you. So I got it, I copied the dream that I wrote down, and I pasted it inside their app. And they gave me a dream interpretation. Okay, that actually makes perfect sense. Pretty thorough interpretation as well. I like this. The app's called Yoru X. If you have any crazy dreams, try it out and leave your dream interpretations in the comments. I want to hear them. Well, this principal had a secret. This person said that back in 8th grade, there was a principal named Mr. Reynolds, and Mr. Reynolds was way too intense. He had this whole no phones in school rule, but he took it to a weird level. If he even saw the outline of your phone in your pocket, he would stop you in the hallway. Give it to me. No, I'm not even using it. Doesn't matter, you know the rules. And the worst part, he'd keep it locked in his office until the end of the day. And if it was like the 3rd or 4th time he had to take your phone away from you, your parents would have to come in and get it. So absolutely just crazy. Well, this one girl, let's call her Ashley. She had had enough. He took her phone one day for checking the time during lunch. Give me that! I'm literally checking the time. You know the rules. So the next day, she told her older brother, who was already graduated but still had friends at the school, and he came up with a plan. Got you, sis. That weekend, Ashley's brother made a fake email address, pretending to be from the school's IT department, and he sent an email to the school board, saying there was suspicious activity coming from the principal's computer. Send. Take that, Mr. Reynolds. Now, he was just trying to make Mr. Reynolds' life a living hell. He didn't think anything of it, really. Just to mess with him real bad. But on Monday, an actual person from the school district showed up at that school. Turns out, Mr. Reynolds had a handful of students' phones backed up on his computer. He found out how to bypass passcodes, and some of them didn't even have passcodes, so he was just uploading stuff to his computer. Text messages, photos, everything. A complete invasion of privacy and super, super creepy. And he was fired on the spot. So Ashley's brother, trying to prank the principal, turned out to be something that actually needed to happen. This dude was messed up. No goodbyes, just walked out the building while the students watched. Get a life, loser! Screw you, Mr. Reynolds! You're a freaking creep! Bye! Ashley got her phone back, and the students got a principal that actually cared about them. A woman was living inside a family fair sign in Michigan. On April 23rd last month, some contractors were working on something at this family fair store in Michigan when they noticed a very long extension cord leading up to the roof. They got to the roof, and they saw the cord going directly into the small door of the family fair sign. They decided to knock on the door, and that's when they heard a woman's voice. They were obviously startled, so they called the police.
Yeah, I was trying to get my stuff so I can get down right away. I'm moving out of here in 24 hours to get away from all of this.
You're coming out right now.
The inside of the sign was about 5 feet by 8 feet, and this woman had been living there for a year. She had put flooring down. There was a Keurig coffee machine, a small bed with bedding, her clothes, a mini desk, and a printer. And all of this stuff was powered by that extension cord. They called her the Roof Ninja.
It's not too bright out here, that's good.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another peanut butter and jelly story. So this one high school had a cafe, and the cafe sold peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for $4 each. $4 for a PB&J. That's insane. Well, one student had a great idea, and it's kind of similar to a previous story I told. She bought bread, peanut butter, and jelly, and left it in her locker. And all people had to do was shoot her a text if they wanted a PB&J. They would go to her locker, and she would make them one. For only $2 each. Well, the students loved this. It was super convenient and business was absolutely booming. Well, the school shut her down pretty quick. They said that she was taking away business from somebody that needed the money more. What? Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this girl was in middle school, she once brought a few glow sticks to a school dance. The kids that saw them kept asking her if she had any more. So she had an idea. She went to the store and bought 12 packs of 24 glow sticks for $1 each. And then at the next dance, she stood by the entrance and sold them to the kids coming in. That night, she sold out and made $288. Well, the teachers didn't really like what she was doing, so they made her an offer. They said she could set up a table and sell the glow sticks right next to the snack table. Otherwise, she can't sell them anymore. All she would have to do was give the school a tiny bit of the profits. She said yes, and after that, she still made about $300 a dance.
I'm constantly ruining my shoes. Look at these Hokas. These are brand new. So I wanted something that's gonna last. I ordered some Nordiv 8's military hiking boots. Yeah, for under $100, these things are insane, and they're definitely gonna last me. I'm so excited.
Dumb reasons people broke up. So this person was an EMT, and she was on a second date with somebody. They went to the movies, and they were seeing Twilight, New Moon. Well, about halfway through the movie, she noticed a man 3 rows ahead of her having a seizure. Oh my god. What? That guy's having a seizure? He's fine, just watch the movie. But she knew that he obviously wasn't fine, so she made the theater stop the movie. Stop the film! Stop the film! She then went up to the guy and helped him out until the ambulance showed up. After the guy was taken to the hospital, she noticed her date had left, but he sent her a text. He said that he couldn't believe she made the theater stop the movie for some guy, and that she should have never done that, and that he never wanted to see her ever again. That's nuts. This is the weirdest school business I've ever heard of. My father sent me the story. When she was in 3rd grade, she would bring her pet turtle to school a couple times a week, and she would charge kids $5 a minute to hold the turtle. And people actually paid. I guess they really liked turtles.
I like turtles. All right.
Business was booming, so one day she upped the price to $10 a minute, and kids were still paying to hold her turtle. But she was starting to get money hungry, so she tried to up the charges to $15 a minute to hold her turtle. Well, one kid had enough of her raising the price, so he told the teacher, and the business was shut down. She made $700 in total. This person is the worst. So this guy was on a first date with this woman that you just met. They were having dinner and it was a good time. She then started talking about a time when she was in high school. Her favorite car was a Jaguar, and she really wanted one. But her dad bought her a Prius instead. She wasn't very happy, so she crashed that Prius on purpose. Now that the Prius was crashed, she thought her dad was gonna get her the Jaguar. But no, he bought her another Prius. Once again, she was very upset, so she crashed the Prius again. Her dad must have learned his lesson, because then he bought her a Jaguar. Talk about spoiled. The pepperoni pizza's been eaten. How is that possible? It started with pizza. On pizza days, this cafeteria made only like 30 slices of pepperoni pizza. And when it was gone, it was gone. No backup, no mercy. And there was this one kid, let's call him Darren. He lived for that pizza. Yo, I live for that pizza. He would sprint to lunch every single pizza day just to make sure he gets it. Oh, yes. But one pizza day, he got to lunch a little late. And when he got to the front of the line, it's gone? Oh, man. Just cheese left. He was mad, but he held it in. The next pizza day, he left for lunch even earlier. He was jogging to the cafeteria, practically. I'm gonna get it this time. And again, gone. 2 pizza days in a row, gone before he even got there. On the next pizza day, just as the lunch bell was ringing, the fire alarm went off. The whole school evacuated. They were pretty sure it was a standard fire drill. It took about 30 minutes to clear. All right, single file line, everybody out of the school. Just a drill. Come on. Now, like I said, this happened right before lunch even started. But when they came back in, the lunch ladies noticed that somebody ate the pepperoni pizza. How was that possible? The pepperoni tray was supposed to be sealed. The full pan, it was half gone. Well, they were obviously super curious as to where this pizza went, so they checked the cameras. Darren, in the cafeteria alone, helping himself to a tray of pepperoni while the entire school was outside. The footage had a timestamp, 12:02. That's 2 minutes after the fire alarm went off. He was suspended on the spot, and there were rumors about legal charges. But nobody knows what really happened because the kid actually never came back to that school. All we know is Darren got his pizza. But at what cost? Genius ways people cheated on a test. This dude said that when he was in high school, one of his buddies stole the final exam out of the teacher's desk when she wasn't looking. That day, they took the test home and used the textbook to fill all of the answers in. Since the test was multiple choice, this kid decided to make coded keychains with colored beads on it. The test was 50 questions long, so the keychain had 50 beads on it. A red bead was A, a blue bead was B, yellow was C, and green was D. It would start with the first bead on the top as question 1 and go down from there. He then attached that keychain to his car keys and just left his keys on top of his desk as he took the test. The best part was the teacher complimented that keychain as she was passing the test out. He said, "Thanks, my little sister made it." She thought that was so sweet. But the truth is that kid did not have a little sister. Genius. Genius ways kids cheated on a test. This teacher shared this story. On this particular day, they were taking a test in one of this teacher's classes. A kid comes in. He sits by the window. The kid then asks the teacher if he can open the window because it's kind of warm in the room. The teacher says sure. The kid opens the window. She passes out the test. That kid scribbles something down for about 30 minutes and then asks to use the bathroom. The kid then came back, finished the test, and turned it in. So what happened here? Where's the twist? When the kid opened the window, he also opened the screen. After he got his test, he secretly dropped it out of the window. The test fell to the ground where his friend was waiting. His friend was incredibly smart. His friend took the test to the bathroom and filled it out himself. Now the kid back in the room had to make it look like he was working on his test, so he was scribbling nonsense on a piece of notebook paper. When he asked to go to the bathroom, he met up with his friend. His friend gave him the test, he came back to class, and he turned it in. He got an A on that test. The teacher would have had no idea that this happened if it hadn't been for another student who snitched. But I gotta say, that's absolutely genius. Delivery drivers' worst experiences. One night, this dude was delivering KFC to a house. He gets there and he knocks on the door. A middle school-aged kid then opens the door. He then yells upstairs to his friends. "Hey guys, the chicken idiot is here! The chicken idiot is here!" That's when about 8 other kids appear at the top of the stairs, and they started throwing coins down to pay for the chicken. Chicken idiot. Can you guys just hand me the money, please? After he asked that, they started throwing the coins harder. Chicken man, stupid chicken man. That's when he snapped. These kids made him so angry that he picked up their bag of chicken and chucked it at their wall. Hey, what the heck? And he left. He told his boss what happened when he got back to the KFC. Those kids' parents later called to complain, but the boss had this guy's back. He simply told those kids' parents to screw off. Epic. Awesome ways kids cheated on a test. In high school, this kid was in band. Well, he had a test later in the day that he didn't study for at all. Well, he managed to get a copy of that test from another student who had that same class earlier in the day. So he got a copy of that test. That test was entirely multiple choice. During band class, he Googled all of the answers, and on a piece of empty sheet music, he wrote those answers as notes, A, B, C, and D. When he got to the class where he was having that test, the teacher passed it out and asked everyone to clear off their desks. So he set his sheet music on the ground, facing up, and all he had to do was glance down and look at the notes on the sheet and fill in the answers based on what note it was. That is absolutely genius. So I had another weird dream last night and I want to show you something. Every so often when I have a really vivid dream, I want to write them down. And that's because when you write down your dreams every night, it helps you remember them more often. And when you remember your dreams more often, you're more likely to have a lucid dream, which is a dream that you know you are dreaming and you can do whatever you want, which is obviously awesome. So I use this app called Yoru X. I wake up from my dream in the middle of the night, I open up the app, and all you gotta do is press this button. And bingo, there you are. You can write down your dream right there. The coolest part about this is that the app will actually generate an AI image of your dream. It'll also interpret it for you. You can label it if it was a lucid dream or a nightmare, and you can make your dream diary entries public or private if you want. Check out this person's. They had a dream about a sorcery school. They wrote it down, the app interpreted the dream for them, and this is the AI-generated image that the app made for that dream. Download it, write down your dreams for a whole week, and let me know the craziest dream you had. Check it out.
Okay, so I have the bulldog ramen, but this time it's 2 times spicy. So I thought this one was spicy, but this one looks crazy.
Now we're gonna boil some water. Now that it's boiling, we put this into the boiling for 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes, now we drain the water. Now it says to add the 2 times spicy hot sauce. Then you add, last step is the pepper flakes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I think if you like spicy stuff, this is gonna be awesome for you. I'm not sure how I'm gonna handle it, so I'm gonna take one bite. Let's see. Delicious, but very, very spicy.
His friend's house had the weirdest rule ever. This dude said when he was younger, he was spending the weekend at one of his friend's house. They were in the kitchen getting snacks when his friend casually said, "Hey bro, don't eat the last chip." He grabbed the chip bag that his friend was talking about. He opened it and
Inter second year puri.
Inter second year. I'm class 9 এর পোলা বেনো প্রেম করে। মামা, মায়া তো অস্থির।
এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু।
শুনেন বেন সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনুন। মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি। তাহলে কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে যাবে। তুই রবিলের সুন্দরটা রিক্সা ডাক।
ভাবি চিঠিটা আমার বন্ধু জিসান দিচ্ছে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন প্লিজ ভাবি। দেখেন ভাবি
ফোন তো ধরে না।
আবার কল দে।
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয়, আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা?
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে, আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল না, আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর।
আর আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসাতে, আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা, আমি শুধু ওরে পাইলে হবে।
ওকে, আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা, আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন।
শোনো, আমি একটা জিনিস ভাবতেছিলাম।
কি বলো তো?
সেটা হচ্ছে যে আই থিঙ্ক উই ক্যান বি আ ভেরি গুড পেন। জীবনে তো কোনো হাফ ডান প্র্যাঙ্কের ইতিহাস নেই, আজকে এটারে ফুল ডান করে ছাড়বো। ভাই
ওকে, I should go now. I should go now.
না না, হি জাস্ট গো নাও। ঠিক আছে।
এপ্রিল ফুল, আজকে 1 এপ্রিল। তুমি সবাইকে বোকা বানাও, আমরা আজকে তোমাকে বোকা বানিয়েছি।
নেন, মানব কল্যাণে ম্যাক্স আগে আসবে, এটাই তো স্বাভাবিক।
হ্যালো, আরে ঠিকানা তো খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না, আপনি কোন ঠিকানা দিছেন?
খারাপ হবে না, তাছাড়া তুমি তো দেখতে শুনতে ভালোই সুন্দরী। একটা সুন্দরী মেয়ে যদি টিমের সাথে থাকে, খারাপ কি? I'd love to, no worries.
শেষ।
মাই ফোন আমার কষ্ট করে কেনা ফোন।
শাট আপ, একটা কথা আর বলবি না।
কি সমস্যা? কি সমস্যা তোমাদের?
তুমি নাকি আমার ফোন ভেঙে ফেলছো?
ফোনটা তো আনাই হইছে, খুঁজে না এখন।
দেখেন, আপনারা যে আমাকে থানা নিচ্ছেন, আপনাদের থানাও কিন্তু আমার ফ্যান ফলোয়াররা ঘেরাও করে ফেলবে। হোসেন ভাই, ম্যান, আপনারা একটু পরে আমার সাথে সেলফি তুলতে চান, তখন আমি তুলবো না।
থানা নিয়ে যান, থানা নিয়ে যান। শোন, ওই যে ও দেখ শুয়ে আছে ও। আজকে ব্যাটার 3 নাম্বার গাছটা, তার পেছনে গিয়ে তুই কিন্তু দাঁড়াবি, ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে। আজকে ব্যাটার খবর আছে।
আরো নেক্সট লেভেল। হাউ?
আমার মাথায় একটা আইডিয়া এসেছে। ওই কন্টেন্ট যদি তুমি বানাতে পারো, একদম হিট, ভাইরাল হয়ে যাবে একদম।
তুই এটা করতে পারলি?
কেন মা, ও কি কম ফুটফুটে? পুরো ব্ল্যাক ডায়মন্ড, দেখো মা।
আমার না মাথা ঘুরতেছে।
আপনি যে কি করে, আপনার মাথায় কোনো কমন সেন্স নেই? আমার বাসায় যদি সবাই দেখে ফেলে।
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব, আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয়।
মামা মালটা তো জোস। সরি 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 ভাবি,
তুই পারবি, তুই
দেখ কিভাবে কই।
সেটিং মেটিং নাই তো? সেটিং মানে বুঝো না, পেন পেরিতি।
ও তো আমাদের ভাবি হয়, ওই হিসাবে আমাদের বিয়ে হিসাব।
আচ্ছা দাঁড়া, ওয়েট কর, আমাকে একটু ভাবতে দে, দেখি কি করা যায়। দোস্ত তুই থাক, আমি যাই। আমি থাকবো মানে? তুই থাক দোস্ত।
রক্ত লাগবে রে। রক্ত? আসবো না মানে?
হ্যাঁ তাই তো শুনলাম।
আসবো না, ঠিক আছে দেখতেছি ব্যাপারটা। যাও।
কি রে, তুই কোচিং এ যাস না কেন?
দোস্ত আমি কোচিং এ কিভাবে যাব বল? এই গুন্ডাটা যে আমাকে ডিস্টার্ব করে, তুই দেখতেই তো পারছস, ডেইলি আমার পিছনে লাগে থাকে।
আমার ভালোবাসার গল্পটা অপূর্ণ রয়ে গেল। গলবে, পাখির মন গলবে, এমন মন্ত্র দেব।
এভাবে রাস্তাঘাটে একটা মেয়েকে উত্তক্ত করে আর নিজের গায়ে রক্ত দিয়ে